Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the NECA Ultimate Ghost Face action figure. Now, Ghostface is the killer from the Scream franchise, and I could be wrong about this, but I recall reading that NECA didn't have the rights to make Scream figures, but they found some sort of loophole and were able to make Ghostface, but they cannot reference him as a Scream figure. If anyone has any more information on that, drop me a line in the comments below. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, here's the Ghostface Ultimate Ghostface action figure. At the top, it says Ghostface, NECA. One side, here he is holding the knife. Other side, the same thing. At the bottom, there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. And then on the back, here he is cutting through the package, and then here's a few of his different faces. This is one of NECA's ultimate figures. I'm looking forward to adding him to my NECA horror collection. It's in a window box packaging. You can hear the Velcro when you open it. There's the figure posed up on the inside. And then here he is. Looks like he has a bunch of different weapons. I see a few knives. I see a voice changer. I see a big sickle. I see 4 different heads or faces. So no further ado, let's open him up. All right. Now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with 3 bloody knives, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, 3 alternate heads, totaling 4 heads. He's also got his voice changer and his Sith. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. So this is the Ghost Face Killer. It's the costume worn by all the different killers in the various Scream films. Scream came out in 1996. I was 12 years old, and not to belittle the Scream franchise, but it is perfect for someone in that age range. You can see his face here, sort of a ghost face, mouth wide open, has that sort of stylized, stretched out face, very unique to the film. As you can see, you can pull it down, see the head inside of there. Really curious to see what he looks like with the robe off. Going further down, don't think he has a full body under here. Feels a little bit plain here. You can see his hands can be able to hold stuff. Feels like double jointed elbows. We'll check that out later in the video. He's got some kind of dress shoes, regular slacks. Pull this robe up and look. It is not a traditional body under there. So you're not going to be able to disrobe him and have him with an unmasked head perhaps. Overall, it looks pretty cool. The cloth has nice execution. All the little extra stuff hanging off. It looks pretty good. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as it can go, with all of his removable parts detached. So, this is what you get with the body here. Not going to be a full body. There's really nothing under the torso area, which is fine. You don't really need it. He looks good, the parts you're going to see. And frankly, we all got this guy for the Ghostface Killer, not to have some regular civilian underneath. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start off with his robe. Here's his robe. This is made of cloth soft goods material. There is a bendy wire in the hood here, so you can get it to take different shapes if you want to. When you have that on the figure, the hood can go back, exposing his head. None of this is going to hinder any of the articulation. Very movable, and it looks pretty good. I can see this maybe being a background prop in somebody's base. Maybe Sydney comes over, sees the robe, sees the voice changer, and figures it out. Here he is with the robe off, and the more I look at this guy, I do wish that they had finished his torso here. That way you could have a guy with robe off, dressed in all black, possibly throw on a regular head there. You could have the killer in the outfit and out of the outfit. Just seems kind of a shame. The arms, the legs are finished, but the torso is not. I don't think it'd be that hard to have finished this. And here he is with the robe on. The robe is made of a stretchy material. It's very easy to take off and put back on. I was worried it was going to look awful if I took it off and put back on, but that is not the case. I would recommend take the hand and heads off. It'll make it a lot easier. I don't actually think it's possible to even do without taking the hands off. Now let's look at his hands. He's got 4 of them, 2 left and 2 right. Upon first glance, I cannot tell the difference between the 2 right hands. I'm assuming the gripping width is different, but we'll see. Here he is with his first pair of hands. Both these are gripping hands. His right hand is a perfect circle, and his left hand is semi-open. Here he is with his other pair of hands. His left hand is open, and his right hand, for all I can tell, it's the same as the other right hand. Now let's look at his heads. He has 4 of them. One is the original face, one is a bloody variant, one is a glow-in-the-dark mask, and then one is a decaying zombie mask. Now, I could be wrong about this. I'm not trying to spread false rumors, but I believe I read that NECA did not have the legal rights to make Scream figures, so they made the Ghost Face Killer based off the Halloween costume. Like I said before, I thought I read that somewhere. I tried to Google it, could not find the information again. If I'm correct, let me know in the comments below. So my understanding about these faces here, they weren't all in the films, but this is based off the Halloween costumes that have been released. Here he is with the first and original head, then with the bloody variant head, and here with the zombie mask, and here he is wearing the glow-in-the-dark mask, and the mask actually is glow-in-the-dark. Now let's look at his knives. He has 3 completely different bloody knives. They all look really good. This one looks like a standard kitchen knife. You can see the blood effects. The handle looks great. Next knife here. I mean, they all look good. Different texture on the handle. The blood designs look very sharp. Here he is holding his first knife. Here he is holding his second knife. This knife's a lot smaller and was way easier to fit into his right hand. And here he is holding his third knife in that classic slasher or psycho pose. Here's his Sith. This thing is huge. You can see the detail on the blade, a little bit of dirty color at the bottom there. You can tell it's a wooden base. It's all twisted, going downward. And then 2 more wooden pieces for the handles. Here he is holding the Sith. It's definitely going to require 2 hands to hold this thing. Here's his voice changer. Very small accessory. Don't drop this on the carpet. You may never see it again. So it's got a little area where you speak into. The backside has really very few details on it. Overall, it's a cool, very small, very basic prop. Here he is holding and speaking through the voice changer. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, sitting at about 7.25 inches tall. And his hood makes him look a little taller. That's going to translate to about 18.5 centimeters. Now, let's check out his articulation. I decided to take his robe off for this part, but let me tell you, the robe doesn't obstruct any of his articulation. So starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down that far. It can tilt his head from side to side. Give him a nice amount of personality. Maybe he's looking down at somebody just after he killed them. Shoulders on a ball joint. Think about this far. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. No bicep cut, but does have double jointed elbows. They can rotate at the bottom. They can also rotate at the top. Go in at the top like so, and then in at the bottom like that. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso. It can rotate around. It can also go forward and back about that far. The legs on ball joints, they can completely do the splits. They can swivel independently of the ball there. They go forward about that far, back about that much. He's got single jointed knees, go back about that far, and they can rotate as well. And his feet, they go up and down just the tiniest bit. They can rotate, and they can't really tilt a rock. Here's the Ghost Face Killer in front of one of his victims' houses, using his voice changer. And here he is, about to murder a young woman trying to escape him. And then, looking down at his victim, with an almost curious look on his face. Now let's check him out, compared with some other action figures, starting off with some other horror figures. Here he is, next to the old McFarlane Ghost Face Killer. This one was actually made with the Scream logo on the package. I bought this guy many years ago with the intent to customize him into something else, and to my regret now, I cut off the bottom of his chin and some of the edges of the sort of cloth on his outfit. I was intending to make him into the Batman villain, the Spook, but I ended up abandoning the project or using a different base. It's a shame. He's been my fodder pile for many, many years. Here's the figure I ended up using to make the Spook. You can kind of see why I was going to use the Ghost Face Killer as the base. Here he is, next to a bunch of other horror figures. All these are from Neca, except for Candyman. Neca hasn't made a 7-inch Candyman yet. Here he is, next to a wide variety of 6 and 7-inch scale female action figures. These would make for a great array of victims for Ghostface. Now let's check him out, compared to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is, with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figures, all from Neca Toys, all 7-inch scale. And here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some McFarlane toys. And here he is, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a very nice figure. He's far superior to the other Ghostface that I have, although that one is many years old. This guy's face looks great. His robe execution is excellent. It looks very good. It doesn't interfere with the articulation, and it comes on and off with ease. A couple complaints about mine. The articulation could be a little bit better, a little smoother. Kind of have some trouble with the elbows. Even hot water, I had trouble freeing them up. His right hand, I have a really hard time putting some of the knives in and out of there. Be careful not to break them. Also, on mine, the right hand pops in and out so easily, it's almost annoying. But overall, this guy looks very good. Definitely the best 7-inch Ghostface out there. If I were to rate this guy, I think I'd give him a solid 8 out of 10. Enjoying this figure a lot. I think I'm going to go ahead and watch Scream 1 tonight. It's been many years since I've watched that. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.